Today, another Lunch and Learn. I'd like to welcome everyone. It's supported by the Presidential AI Task Force, Lewis College of Business, and the Brad D. Smith Schools of Business, Marshall University, and the University Library. We have a lot to talk about today. The goal of my presentation is to help us learn to use a few of these tools that will help us work smarter and not just harder. But there are so many tools out there that I describe it as a tsunami that is just washing over top of us. And for the most part, it's invisible. We can't see all of the new tools that are coming. So I spent a couple of hours this morning trying to put together a list of the tools using ChatGPT to do this. And I haven't figured it out all the way. But let me kind of show you what I have been attempting to do. Okay, well, my main goal was the ability to introduce to you some of the many tools that are now available to us. So this is Gemini Advanced. The great thing about Gemini is that you can enter up to 1 million characters. It's the prompt size is much larger than any of the other LLMs. And it seems to work pretty well. My main work has been in ChatGPT. Let me go ahead and log in. And it will bring up, yeah, there we go. So, today I asked it to do several different things. So first I asked for an outline for my presentation. Then I asked it to give me an extended outline. And I did this in all three of these tools, ChatGPT, Google, Gemini, and Microsoft Copilot. And then I asked all of them to write some VB code, Visual Basic code, to create my presentation today in PowerPoint. And so it's a simple command. I'm turning my volume down in the room a little bit. I hope everybody can still hear me okay. And the reason I keep turning and looking behind me is because we have this giant presentation screen. And that's where my team's meeting is being displayed. I guess I could bring it back over to my little display on my desktop. Okay, one of the problems that we have is that it does this forever look at okay. As you saw there, it goes on forever mirroring the screen. So I just wanted to be able to get the chat open. So if any of you have any questions throughout my presentation, please throw it in the chat for me. Okay, sorry I'm jumping around, but back to Visual Basic. So you can simply ask ChatGPT to create, as I did in preparing today, just simply said, create an outline of a 45-minute presentation on working smarter with Copilot and other large language models. And so ChatGPT goes to work and it creates the outline for the presentation. And as it does this, it's a very general presentation. And so I want to focus it more on the tools if I could only type. So you saw the presentation that it made the first pass. So now we're saying, okay, focus more on just generative AI tools or GAI. And so it goes into a deeper dive on some of the different options and tools that are out there that we can use. And so now I can say, expand this. And it will go into a deeper dive on each point. And so now I can say, turn this into an outline for PowerPoint. And as soon as it's finished with the first task, then we can ask it to do an additional task. And so as we saw, in this screen. So this is a previous edition of doing this. And then with Visual Basic and PowerPoint, let me pull this presentation over here. So I created this presentation using that PowerPoint code. And when you hit Alt 11, it opens this code editor. And this might be a little technical, but it's not too hard. You just go into Insert Module. And then we go back to here at the top of this. And this isn't the last version of this. I had to do this a couple of times because it did not. Right here in the middle, we have this comment, continue adding slides. So when I do this, it only creates a few slides. So once you've copied and pasted the code, hit run, and it didn't like something. It didn't like this function. So I can copy this line, maybe. And down here say, an error, and it will analyze that error, fix it. Okay, so great app, will do all kinds of things for you, but that's only the beginning. So let's go look at our other task over here. So there we go. Every time I lean to the right, there's a speaker right behind me, and it picks up starts the little high-pitched whine you hear. Okay, so we can copy this, and then if we wanted to here, we could say, okay, use this outline to create the slides, and it would do that. So very powerful tool, very quick and easy to do lots of stuff with. But there is, just as I said, so much new stuff happening. So I'm going to open my email for a moment, and I subscribe to a number of emails that I find really helpful. Let's go ahead and pop that out and go full screen with it. So this one is called Superhuman AI. Most of these newsletters I subscribe to cover 80% of the same information, but every once in a while, one of them will have something that is very interesting to me, and off to the side. So Microsoft's doing a big deal with the EUA. They're investing $1.5 billion. Whenever I first read this, I thought about a statement I once heard the former Senator Robert Byrd say. He said, you know, get $100 million here and $100 million there, and before long, you're talking about some real money. I always thought that was only a politician would look at billions of dollars as real money. I'm like, you know, $50 is real money to me. Okay, so what I wanted to show you were two things. One is they've just added this prompt of the day. And so here you get some really good suggestions on ways that you can use ChatGPT to help you organize yourself. So there are lots of tools out there. Microsoft is integrating their to-do list with their calendar and 3 or 4 other different types of tools that are available to you. We could look at those at some other time that allow you to organize all the tasks associated with any of the projects you're working on and assign due dates and make those appear in your calendar. Okay, but this is a good way to help you just look at what you have to do and set your priorities for getting them done. So there's this new product called Guidey. I assume that's how you look at it. As we've talked about in the past, the foundation models are getting larger, and so this shows that we're currently far in the lead among China and the US, which is the only way that we're going to keep our competitive advantage and be able to survive the coming Chinese tsunami. Okay, what I really wanted to show you though was this productivity tool list. So every day they highlight 5 different tools that are specialized in helping you be more productive in some area of your work. So you can read each of those. I won't take a moment or take the time to explain these to you. What I was asking ChatGPT to do for about an hour this morning, I have 25 of these emails. I wanted ChatGPT to go through those 25 emails and pull out these set of tools to supercharge your productivity. So I made a lot of progress on getting it done, but I didn't make it all the way. So there's always new things happening in this space. And as I said, it's just a tsunami of at least one, if not multiple, exciting new capabilities every day. So this one is prompts daily. And so there's 9 faculty from the College of Business that are about to leave to go to China to teach at the Guiyang University of Economics and Finance I'm going for 3 weeks. And so anytime I see something about China and their new AI capabilities, I'm always intrigued. As a side note, the US is most creative, but the Chinese have the most data. They just collect a lot more data on their citizens, and so that data is how you train ChatGPTs to work. So that is one way that they are going to be able to pull ahead of us at some point if we don't get artificial general intelligence, which is, the computer that knows everything and can figure everything out instantly to arrive first. Okay, so magically create video documentation with AI. Here's some more new tools. Navigator, Lazy, hey, there you go. So, depending on your interest, there are always lots of new things happening around the world, and specifically in the world of AI. I read another one of these that I thought was interesting, but so there's not a bot, there's AI for work, there's the AI rundown, and there are dozens more because this space, as I said, has turned into a tsunami. There are so many new advancements all the time. Okay, now let's so as I said a minute ago, there are lots of other tools that you can use to help you organize yourself that are available to you through our Microsoft 365 license here at the university, and you can use these if you so desire to do things like planning, for example, or your to-do list. Now, I used the portal a minute ago to connect to my my desktop in my office because I forgot to close my files and save them so I could use them in my presentation. So that is a very nice capability. And so this is my desktop in my office. And so I had this planned as my first slide, but we didn't get there. Okay. Well, let's minimize this and let's look at some of what I think are the biggest innovations in the past week or so. I think I showed you this last time. Here is Google's Notebook LM, and I'm not sure why it didn't just log me in. Okay, and so what you can do here is upload lots of different documents. And so these are documents, research papers, and others that I have uploaded into the notebook. And so these are all interesting papers related to some research I'm doing for. And so we can then search within these documents using the LLM. So just as, let's say I want a summary. The TAM model, and I even misspelled D, didn't I? So the technology adoption model is what the TAM model is. And so there, it looked in my documents and gave me a summary. So if you're doing research in an area, you can upload all the PDFs. That's what versions all of these documents are, and then ask it to read them for you and ask whether or not it is applicable to your research stream. So many of you can figure out better ways to do this than the way I'm verbalizing it. But it's a great way of accessing lots of papers in a single way to create your own LLM. Okay. Google has another product that is the AI Studio. That's not it. Give me a minute to. Okay, need a bigger mouse. Okay, yes. So this is aistudio.google.com, and this prompt is again looking at my presentation today and its ideas. So again, create an outline for a 45-minute presentation. And so that's what it said. Then I said, okay, I want to focus more on using tools. And it added the verbiage. Then I said, expand this some more. And it did. Then I said, can you make slides? Now, it gave me a very nice summary of what I want on every slide. And you'll notice that it suggests a visual. So for example, right below slide 2 is an image depicting information overload and multitasking struggles. So now we can go to another tool. I just like ChatGPT. And we've introduced the idea of get GPTs, and everybody now has their own set of GPTs. I'm going to click on Dolly here because that is OpenAI's image generator. And now I'm just going to paste the visual instruction from AI Studio. And so first it takes the prompt, writes a better prompt. And so I'm going to say, no, I like that. Yes. And you can just type Y actually, and it'll, oh, you mean positive. So there we go. Or N for no. It's quite intuitive. And normally it shows something else going on, but down in the end edge of the prompt box, we see the circle with this is the stop. I had this an issue earlier where it wasn't displaying correctly. Nope, that's okay. So normally you get a prompt like this that says it's creating the image. Now, a minute ago, what we saw was I went into the GPT instead of just staying right here at okay. And so there's an image. You can do additional images if you don't like this one. You want to download it, you can click this arrow and then you see it's downloaded and the file name. You can also just copy the image and then paste it into your presentation. So let's just create a new slide. And we have to, if you just say Control V, sometimes it doesn't work correctly. Let me copy this again. Copy image. The image doesn't seem to be copying it for, okay. So for those of you who, I'm using a keyboard shortcut, the Alt Tab key, and it's still not showing up. Okay, let's do it the other way. And so then in PowerPoint, you can click Designer. There we go. And then it will offer you these many different ways of displaying the image. And if you don't like those, you can ask for some more. So I kind of like that one. Okay, so that's how Copilot and Designer can help you be more productive in making PowerPoints or taking your PowerPoints and making them more appealing. So I had a graduate assistant actually take all of my slides in my principal's class and go through them and take the content of the slide, turn that into a prompt, and create an image. Okay, so Sandra wants to know, what about making a quiz? Okay, well, in the MU version, the Blackboard version, MU Online was where I was actually going. I'm going to put, as part of my early morning attempt to, where did it go? Okay, here's how you do a quiz. So you want to copy and paste the part that's italicized at the top. So the way you write a quiz is some introduction to the topic and sorry, that appeared there. And you can also change the types of questions. So here it's just asking for general questions, but we could also say following questions in a multiple choice format. So at the bottom, after we have our list of questions, the instructions are ask me question one at a time. After each answer, give me feedback, explain something I don't understand, then add that, ask for additional information. So I have been doing things like this with my students. Okay, so unfortunately I'm in the wrong spot. It thinks I'm in Dolly, but that's okay. It's still working, huh? So what has caused the advancement here? The answer is D. And so that's the way this will work. Now you don't have to have it give you feedback. If you want to use it as a quiz. So what I have students do after they've answered all the questions, you can either ask ChatGPT to summarize everything into a single file, or have them just copy and paste their answers into a Word document or into the text box in Blackboard. And this also will tell you whether or not, you know, your answers were correct. I haven't played with it enough to see if it will tell me how many I got right and wrong at the end of this. But let's, I think that we're causing it to be a little slow. So if I can find my mouse again, we'll just say a new chat. Okay, and now let's see if regular chat GPT is any faster. Okay, ask me the same question. And I said yes last time, so I'm just going to say no this time. So it should ask me the next question. An LLM is a large language model. Okay, let's look at this in other products. Let's go to Copilot, which is what the university says we're Microsoft Place. So, well, asked me pretty much the same question, didn't it? New answers though, right? Let's go with B, neural network. Okay, let's try the fastest model out there, which is Grok, G-R-O-Q. Well, Grok didn't wait. It just but you saw how much faster Grok replied, even though it did not work correctly. So there's lots of other LLMs today that you might see in the news. There's Claude, and their version 3 is now supposed to be the fastest. There's Minstrel, Mistral, which is a French LLM, and they're doing lots of interesting things as well. So if anybody has any questions or something that they would like to delve into a little deeper, please ask, because I'm kind of done with what I'd planned to present. I guess there is we're back to Copilot here, and we see over on the right column that we have different Copilot GPTs that will help us do things. And in the middle, we see the images that have been addressed. Down on the lower right side, you see my recent searches. So it kind of keeps track of what you're doing. Last time we talked about some of the differences in what it called the temperature of your search. And so here at the center of the screen at the bottom is choose the conversational style. And so precise is a low temperature and creative is a higher temperature. And so what it really kind of shows you is whether or not it's going to be guessing. The more precise the answer, the less the model will, or the model will use its highest probability responses. So the way that these large language models work is you put in your prompt, it takes those words and it guesses at the next word. So something like Mary had a little, and it has seen Mary had a little lamb hundreds of times on the internet. So there it is. It guessed. That's what we're talking about. And so how did it do that? Well, it guessed lamb. Then it guessed its. Then it's fleece. Then was. And then white. So it just takes whatever prompt you give it, adds its next guess, makes the next guess, adds that, and makes the next guess. Well, thanks for your attention. Does anyone have any questions? There is just so much going on in this space that it is really the sleeping giant that has awoken and is going to continue to evolve at this outrageously fast pace. So those, I feel like I'm somewhat preaching to the choir here. You guys all have some interest in what it is and what it's capable of doing. But it just gets better and better and better and better and better. And we're not talking about, next year's model is better than this year's model. We're talking about tomorrow or the day after tomorrow's model is better than today's model. It's just improving so rapidly. And there's just lots of exciting stuff out there. I follow 3 or 4 people on YouTube. The 2 people I like the best. One is this fellow, Matt Berman. And so he posts very informative videos. And so this is the guy I use every morning to stretch with. Okay, so you see this is one day ago, and another one was yesterday, and yesterday, you know, yesterday, 4 days ago, 5 days ago. The other person I like maybe a little better is Wes Roth. Now, Wes has more of an academic approach in the way he presents. So often what he will do is find the last article that one of these big AI companies has released that talks about the capabilities that they have figured out for AI. And so he goes through the article and highlights the different pieces, gives you background, and helps you understand exactly how this new piece of the puzzle fits into the bigger picture. But there are lots of other people out there that are watching this stuff, and but these guys, these two are my personal favorites. And again, they release new videos every day, or sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. That's just how fast this area is evolving. Okay, well, thank you. There are so many ways that you can use these tools. You just have to keep looking. There's lots of great ideas on YouTube. If you do something like best ways to use AI, something simple, you'll get 5 tools that'll change your life, 7 tools that'll make you rich, 11 tools, 10 tools, etc. So that's it. You guys have a great day. If you have any questions, send me an email. I will do my best to add stuff to the Blackboard page in the next week. As I said, again, we're leaving in 2 weeks. I'll be gone for half the summer, and so it will be an interesting summer to see how this evolves. Thank you.